Hi guys, TPFX weekly Forex outlook video. I'm going to kick off straight away with GBPUSD. This has probably been my favourite pair to trade so far this year. We've had nothing but profit off this pair, as a lot of you will know. We've ridden quite a few shorts, not taken any longs on this pair so far this year. Is that about to change this week? Potentially. We've got Brexit on Friday, so I think we're looking at maybe some bullish movement initially. This is just the fundamentals off the buck. I think we're looking at some bullish movements this week to make way for some downward movement towards the end of the week. But let's actually have a look at the chart and see what the chart's saying. So the first thing that I want to get marked in is the market structure. By the way, I'm taking this obviously from a bear chart, because a lot of you have said you wanted to see our positioning on GBPUSD and kind of see through our thought process to find out exactly how we're coming to the conclusions that we are. So I thought it best to just start bear chart and let you guys kind of see exactly where I'm coming from when I've been taking trades on this pair. So the main thing that we've capitalized on is this descending trend line. Now we are in the day view, so obviously the higher the time frame you go, the more relevant and reliable the data becomes, but it can take a little bit longer for you to see the results move in your favor. So this trend line, this drop off trend line just there, is what we have capitalized on since the start of January. We took rejections here just after Christmas, and we've tapped in at every other rejection. That was the last one that we've taken into. As we'd said last Sunday just gone, we expected that the markets were going to maybe reverse, and we didn't really want to gamble with it. We didn't want to get involved and play too much, so we'd left this pair. As we can see, halfway through last week, we actually split through, finally punched through this trend line. So, and we weren't involved in any positions. We were completely closed out, profit secured. So the fact that we've acted as resistance and resistance, we've now punched through. So we would anticipate, and common sense will tell you, that this trend line is now going to act as a support. If we take into account the fact that we've got Brexit on Friday next week, I think there's a good chance that this will indeed act as a support, and we will see a rejection of this level. So what am I looking for on this pair next week that will warrant me to get involved? Well, I'm looking for shorts, and my area of interest, I think the level of resistance that we're playing into is going to be about here. Let's move it across. We've got some relevant data historically throughout this pair that shows us that the 1.32 level is acting as an area of interest in this pair. So where would my target be? Ideally, I'm looking to see a spike up throughout the course of next week to enable me to get into some nice shorts. My first target, if we can reach the 1.32 level, is going to be 1.29, and my next target is going to be around about here. Obviously, if we can break the 1.29 level, even probably before then, my second target, which is going to be dropping down to 1.27, is going to be running risk free. I just want to extend this trend line as well, just in case we do end up coming down here and seeing that it bears a relevance. I don't think it will, to be perfectly honest. So then to mark it up to make it as clear cut as I could, I think we are looking for something like this. Now, as I say, this is the day chart, so to expect to get all of that movement next week, it's probably slightly ambitious, but my eyes will be on this area of our trend line early next week, and then what happens if we do get a rejection at this level. I will be on the 1.32 level looking to see if there's the potential to take a short. Remember guys, always look for confirmation. Don't just take someone else's word for it. Trade what you see, and get your own analysis done on these pairs. It's really not as difficult as some people let you think. So moving on to UJ, we've been a bit skeptical and a bit cautious about opening some trades on this pair so far this year. I think that says well. That's with good cause. We've seen a lot of major levels in play over the last few weeks. We've got this descending trend line. This analysis remains unchanged as well from the last two videos that have been sent. This descending trend line from October 2018. So it's a very, very relevant level. It's well established. Last week we've seen, and the week before we've seen a breakout of this level, which appears to be a fake out. I say it's a fake out because on the daily view, we have closed beneath this level, implying that we've smashed straight through and now we've closed through, which is a rejection. We've noted in the last few videos how relevant the 109 level is in terms of a support and a resistance. There's plenty of data throughout this pair's history to warrant that information. We've seen lots of liquidity grabs, we've seen so many reversals and a lot of congestion around this area. So we have indeed closed beneath this level on Friday. However, I am still not convinced that this warrants a short position to the bottom of the channel. Now, there's a few reasons for this. I can't see this pair being a short next week. We're also right in the middle of this ascending channel. We've got the top trend line just here, the bottom trend line just here. As you can see, we're right in the middle of this pair. We're just beneath the descending trend line that's taken from October 2018. I think we could see a lot of choppy price action around this area before the pair actually reveals its intentions to where it's going to go. So what am I looking for now? I'm looking to see where this pair can close at the end of play on Monday. For me, this is too close to this level to warrant me taking a short, because it's shut beneath, fair enough. But it's too close of a margin for me to want to take a short. So I'd rather wait for something that gives me confidence to actually want to place a trade on it. So that means for me, I'm looking for more of a clear close below or above at the close of the New York session on Monday. So 10 p.m. London time. That will then either warrant me to stay away and wait until Tuesday close, or I'll look to take a trade on Tuesday. But as I say, for me, the deciding factor is, where are we going to close on Monday? Are we going to close heavily above this level or heavily beneath? And at that point, I'll then be looking for rejections the coming day in the lower time frames, looking for some tails on these candles and seeing if we can spot a rejection, get a nice entry, and then I'll either be taken to channel top or channel bottom. NZDUSD, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. We've obviously been involved in this since early last week. Still relatively happy with this trade, although we haven't seen the movements that we would have liked. We're currently in the 4-hour view. So if we zoom in a little bit, what is it that's warranted us to get involved in this pair? Well, we've got this level of support just here. So the 659 level of support. We can see that this pair has acted very nicely in previous data as an area of interest. We've got plenty of data that shows us this area, it bears a strong relevance. What we were looking for in the higher time frames, so let's just jump into the day view. We can see that when the pair reaches this level, we're getting plenty of wicks forming. We knew that we'd come down and we'd tap this level, at which point we've obviously entered the trade. Once we've gone into the lower time frames in the 4-hour, we've looked for a bounce and a rejection and confirmed it with our price action, which was sent to our other groups. So a lot of you guys are involved in this trade with us. Price action on the daily, yeah, it's not great. It's quite bearish. We've got an upper tail and a drop back down. To me, all this is showing is that we've got the potential to have a retrace on Monday before the pair takes off. My targets are 67, at which point I'm going to be looking to close, because if we just zoom out again, we can see that much like USDJPY, we've got this very established trend line, which also goes back to 2018, but we're looking at April 2018. It's a clear level of relevance. To me, I think this is our target, 67, at which point I will probably be taking my profits on the trade, closing out, switching out, if we can get that far, because obviously we'll have a trailing stop the whole way up. You guys know about trailing stops. You know what we do with these. You know the structures and the patterns as to where we move our stops and if we scale in on the pairs. So to me, we'll then be looking to close back around the 659 level, potentially with some left running risk-free to see if we're going to get a tap on this descending trend line once more before the pair moves out. You never know, we could be looking at a fake out of this, but the fact that we're going to be looking at a monthly close above this trend line bears even more relevance to me that this is a genuine breakout of this descending trend line. Remember, you always need to confirm with daily close. Monthly close is even stronger. So if we can get that, we know we're in a strong position to be looking for longs around this area. And finally, one that I want to give a little bit of time to, not so much analysis, more as a trade breakdown, from sort of my favourite trade of last week, if you like, is AUDJPY, Australian dollar Japanese yen, just to kind of give you guys a bit of insight as to how we found the trade and what we'd looked for. So the first thing to note is that this has been on our watch list since December, and anyone in our groups would know about that we had actually noted we were approaching the top of this channel. Now, this channel dates back to 2018, 2017, so it's a well-established channel. All of the data here bears a strong relevance, and we noticed in December that this pair had approached the top of our channel, and we'd looked to get involved, but I couldn't find a confirmation to warrant entering a trade, so we left the pair. Now, leaving the pair worked out for the best because we'd be playing with tight stops if we're trading the top of a channel, so we actually left it. This definitely would have triggered our stop. We'd noticed that it had broken through the channel top. At the time, we suspected that it was a false breakout. Lo and behold, we crashed straight back through the channel, tapped this support, and then climbed back up. We were looking again to see a rejection of the top of our channel, which yet again we didn't get. We actually pushed straight back out through the channel top. So we were then looking to see if we could find the rejection in the wicks, because yet again we expected that this was a false breakout of this channel. So I think it was the Thursday before last we started to see the rejection that we wanted to get, but that wasn't enough confirmation for us to enter. So for me, the confirmation came in, we've got this level here, which bears a relevance back through previous data in this chart and in this pair, but we'll just get it marked up here. So I wanted to see a break and close beneath of this level. So we looked at the 75 level of support. Monday last week we were in the lower time frames in the 4 hour, and we got our break and our close in the 4 hour just beneath this level just here. So we entered. Now the next day, following day, we saw a slight retrace followed by a crash. We've ridden this pair down all of last week. We've, as you guys that are in the other groups will know, we've looked for some lovely patterns. We've got a lovely structure marked up in the lower time frames to be able to see where we can re-add. We'd let you guys know every time we had added more to this trade. Each time we'd added, we saw another dip off and another crash. So targets for us are just above the 74 level. I think 74, to be honest, isn't too ambitious. Will we see it next week? Yeah, I think we probably will. And then we've got the 73 level, which is sort of more of an ambitious target. A lot of you guys are saying, why aren't we aiming for the channel bottom? Well, I don't think there's any need, to be perfectly honest. We've got so many levels within this pair, the price action gets quite choppy. I think let's get in, hold the trade for sort of 6, 7, 8 days, whatever it is. Take a nice amount. You know, we're taking more on this one trade than a lot of people take on 15, 16 trades. There's just no need to trade that much. Instead, you find 3 or 4 setups that you really like, get them on. We did 3 trades last week. 1 stopped at break even and the other 2 are in profit. There's just no need to throw more trades at yourself. You just don't need it. Instead, as I say, higher time frames, the price action's more relevant. Get your analysis in, find the setup that you want to do, get the trade on. Don't sit there and stare at your phone all day long. Make sure you've got your stop losses in place. Monitor price action, sure, but then just leave the pair to go and do its thing. You know, 9 times out of 10, guys that are trading the demo accounts, they're doing their analysis, they're putting it in our chat room, and they're finding that when they go back 2 or 3 months later, it's planned out beautifully to what they wanted. However, if they were trading it on a real account, they can't hold out. They have to close these positions and take the profit while it's there. So that just goes to show you it's not necessarily the strategy that's difficult. It can be the psychology and the risk management that is what actually can throw your head in a spin and make you doubt your own analysis. Stop doubting your own analysis. Let your analysis play out. Take the pips while they're there and get it done. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, drop a subscribe, give us a shout. And yeah, let's really move your trading forward over the next couple of weeks and take it to that next level. Start building foundations that you can grow upon throughout the rest of the year. And let's really see if together we can all grow stronger.